Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we turn to talking about a very famous Hollywood celebrity, one of the good ones, a pretty based guy who might even be red-pilled. I'm of course talking about Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell has a long and storied Hollywood career that probably started for most people back in the 80s when he was in some action flicks and suspense ones, like for example a lot of John Carpenter movies starred Kurt Russell, like The Thing and Escape from New York are some of the first ones that come to mind. Escape from New York, of course, featured Russell playing Snake Plissken. Snake Plissken is an action icon. He's very, very famous, very well liked in that area and expertise of films. And that's why I think this comment and what we're talking about that he said today is very interesting, because this guy is cool. He's one of the good ones. He's been in some great movies, and recently he's come out to talk about how Hollywood and some of these actors that are getting all woke and political, well, Kurt Russell seems to disagree with that. He seems to be taking a more neutral stance. Not very surprising since he's a cool guy. And also, for the record, he's probably a liberal. He's probably left-leaning. I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't want to assume, but I would guess that would be the case, likely, probably. But his stance is still the fact that people don't need to get political as actors. He said even at one point that they're just these court jesters. They're just there to entertain. So them getting woke and political is not necessary. And I think this is a good sign, good message coming from such a famous guy. And that's why it's worth expanding upon and talking about more and just dissecting the whole situation. So we'll get to that soon. We'll talk about more details, get to his quote, talk more about Kurt Russell and other actors who have acted this way and agreed with him. But first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. Hey guys, I'm real excited to offer you again this new free police coin giveaway. All you have to do is cover the shipping costs and you could get these awesome police coins right away, just in time for not only Black Friday shopping, but also as, say, a Christmas gift for someone you love. I mean, the police are the people that protect us from criminals and save our lives. They're the real heroes in our country. And since they're under attack each and every day by the left, the people trying to defund them, I say we actually do the opposite and support the police. And the best way to do it is to get your hands on this free coin. This 2020 police coin giveaway can be yours today if you click the link below this video. All you have to do is cover shipping costs and you could get this free coin delivered really quickly. And check out that link below and get yourself a free coin. Thanks for your time, and now back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's go back to Kurt Russell. This article has more details. It says, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 star Kurt Russell attacked for opinion that actors should remain politically neutral. Now, this is an interesting way to frame it because, first of all, this is one of his more recent movies, so it makes sense to reference him in Guardians 2. That's, of course, a big Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. As it turns out, in this film, he ends up being the main character's dad. You could see him in the foreground right here. This is Chris Pratt. This is Chris Pratt's dad in the movie. He's actually some kind of god, which makes Chris Pratt like half a god. That's a lot more of the story. We're not here to spoil anything or talk about it in depth, but essentially I think it's interesting because not only is Kurt Russell a great actor, he's worked with another great similar actor. Chris Pratt has gotten into trouble for not being political too. Now, he's in the similar boat. He's becoming an action star. He's just kind of on the beginning of his career. We won't know for a long time if he'll be as big a megastar as Kurt Russell, but Chris Pratt is certainly on his way there. He's certainly in similar kinds of big movies, Jurassic Park, Guardians, Passengers. He's on his way up to being a similar kind of action icon / movie star. And the other thing is, yeah, Chris Pratt, we've talked about him many times getting into trouble for not getting woke. The people come after him because he didn't run and do these fundraisers for Biden. They've attacked him for not getting woke or maybe possibly hinting at being conservative. He's worn conservative messages on his shirts. He's gone to churches and stuff like that. So he's been attacked for trying to be neutral. His friends actually defended him and said Chris Pratt is just not a very political guy, overtly, not in public at least. And that's what Kurt Russell is preaching in this story. Another similar actor I'd like to mention before moving on to the article is, this also reminds me of a famous quote from Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is another action star, another big actor, probably somewhere in between Kurt Russell and Chris Pratt. He's been around for a little while longer, like the 90s, but essentially Mark Wahlberg said something about this before, and I'm going to paraphrase, but basically he said that conservatives buy movie tickets too. So that was kind of his way of saying, hey, I'm not going to try to come out and be all liberal. I'm not going to go and support all these Democrats because I have a whole half of the country that wants to watch my movies too. I don't want to offend them. I don't want to push them away just because we don't agree on something like some political issue, which which seems really unimportant when you're talking about, oh, what movie am I going to watch this week? Well, I'm not going to watch Mile 22 starring Mark Wahlberg because he's against immigration. It's like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, why are we even talking about an actor and their stances on the Second Amendment or freedom of speech or these kinds of political issues? Like, all we should be concerned about is, can they perform? Is their movie interesting? Is it fun to watch? Can they get us an escape from reality? Give us something fun to do on the weekend, on your night off, something like that. So that's where it comes down to. And I think it's interesting because I saw that Mark Wahlberg quote going around this week, and now to see it from Kurt Russell is really, really fun. Kurt Russell is the largest actor to come under fire for their political opinions. Though a surprising twist, The Thing and Guardians 2 star is being attacked for his holding of any particular ideology, but for his opinion that actors should remain politically neutral. There's a picture of him from The Thing. In the world of 2020, it seems like every social media post from a celebrity is an endorsement of a political movement, to the point where it's a genuine rarity when a celebrity doesn't chime in with their opinion about the current climate nowadays. As such, it's refreshing when a celebrity does the opposite and takes a stand against the zeitgeist, sticking to their guns and keeping their business about entertainment. But whatever tact and neutrality such an actor may attempt to exercise in the political realm, folks looking to call them out will never be far behind. Now, there's a picture of Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, as we talked about earlier. Classic, another classic Kurt Russell film. Such was the case with Kurt Russell, who found himself the target of outrage mob following the publication of his recent interview with the New York Times, done in promotion for his upcoming film, The Christmas Chronicles 2, due to his advocacy for actors to refrain from using their celebrity as a political stage. During the interview, after being asked if he still stood behind his previous statements calling for actors to remain neutral, the Ego the Living Planet actor replied, "Totally. I've always been someone who felt we are court jesters," said Russell. "That's what we do. As far as I'm concerned, you should step away from saying anything so that you could still be seen by the audience in any character. There's no reason entertainers can't learn just as much as anybody else about a subject, whatever it is. But I think that what's sad about it is that they lose their status as a court jester. And I'm a court jester. That's what I was born to do." So he's taken a real pure kind of entertainer angle for his career. He feels like a jester, meaning he's there to entertain people. Court jester, of course, obviously comes from ancient times with kings and queens. In their court, they'd have a jester who would do things like tell stories, tell jokes, maybe juggle or do some kind of laughing, funny thing. It just entertains people. It just keeps people distracted a little bit. You get a jester in there to kind of open the night up or entertain people before a dinner, after a dinner, things like that. And I think that's a good way for actors to think, and it kind of humbles them a little bit, which is very interesting coming from such a successful and well-renowned actor like Kurt Russell. Like, he's the kind of guy who you'd expect to have an ego. You could even say that he'd have a justified overconfidence being so successful and having such a great long storied career. Not to kiss his butt too much, but it's true. If you've seen his films, you know it. You've probably seen one and didn't even know it. But the point is, this guy is one of the biggest actors out there. He considers himself a humble jester, and that's good. That keeps him grounded, and that's probably part of the reason why he's had such a long career, how he could keep things going this way. And I think the other way around, what he's reflecting is how bad it is when these other actors push their politics and they kind of take a role of like saying they're not a jester anymore. They're part of the political process. Like, they think they're advocates or something. They think they're some kind of protester or political pundit or something else, like something more than an actor. It's stepping out of their realm. And the other thing I don't like, and I saw him mention this in the quote too, is I don't like when actors and other people, they get famous somewhere else and then they use that audience to try to push politics. Like, this happens in sports and other things too. Famous athletes like LeBron James, they get famous for playing basketball, and then after a couple years they think they're some kind of political person and they start picking and choosing candidates and supporting elections and stuff like that. To me, that's just so very cringe and totally what these actors like Kurt Russell are against. When The Christmas Chronicles 2 co-star Goldie Hawn playfully jabbed that Russell was not always funny, the actor replied that a court jester isn't always funny, explaining how a court jester is the only one who can walk into the castle and put the king down as long as he doesn't hit too close to home, and sharing how he thought this role, its dynamics, to be a big important part of all cultures throughout history, and I'd like to see it stay in ours. The one thing I don't agree with the mainstream thought about is that just because we have a platform, we always have to use it, said Hawn, echoing Russell's sentiments. That is our choice. And there's a picture of him from his new movie, Christmas Chronicles 2. There's a one version of that too, obviously. And it's a good, funny movie. It's like a Christmas movie. He plays Santa Claus. I mean, how could you not like Kurt Russell Russell, famous movie star playing Santa Claus. Goldie Hawn plays Mrs. Claus. They're actually a real life couple. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell are kind of this A-list Hollywood couple who've always been together. They never marry, but they've been together forever, and they play along with each other in this movie really well. They are clearly playing off each other in this interview really well, and I think Kurt Russell's coming off really good in this, coming off on top, getting things right, nailing it, and that's what led to this backlash too. So the main thing, the follow-up last part of the story is him getting attacked, people saying, oh, there's people attacking him because he's not being political, he's not taking the right stance. They want him to be part of the left. They want every single person to step in line with them. If that sounds familiar, it's very much like how fascist regimes have been. It's very much how things were in the world wars when you had to step in line and get behind the leader, whoever your dictator or your president or your king might be in that country. And that's the way the Democrats see it. They're very much like absolutist, and they also corrupt the media, and they can't stand free thinkers and just strong, independent guys like Kurt Russell. And I think the other thing is he's just uncancelable. So it's good to see someone like this speaking up for just neutrality too. He's just speaking up for neutrality. So it's not even like we're taking a stance. And it's great coming from Kurt Russell since he's already so established. You can't really cancel the guy, even though they're definitely trying. That about wraps things up. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, have a great day.